Be content with righteousness. Jeremiah's words echoed in my soul, a heavy, unsettling weight. I listened as he spoke of the Lord's message to the king, to the court, and to all the people. The message was stark and simple. Execute justice, deliver the oppressed, do no wrong to the stranger, the fatherless, or the widow. A conditional promise, he called it. If they obeyed, the kingdom would flourish. If not, it would be utterly destroyed. I had always thought of God's blessings as something we inherited, a birthright we could not lose. The legacy of David was a shield, an assurance of our security. But now, the prophet was saying that this legacy was not automatic. It was contingent on our actions. It depended on our righteousness, our care for the most vulnerable among us. And I knew in my heart that we had failed. We had built our homes on unrighteousness and our lives on greed. Just as the prophet described with King Jehoiakim, the image of a king buried with the burial of an ass was a piercing and shameful one. It made me wince, not just for the king, but for myself. I had not been a king, but I had been a part of the oppressive system. I, too, had turned a blind eye to the suffering around me. I had looked to foreign allies for help, just as the prophet said, instead of looking to the Lord. And I had done it all in the name of prosperity. The prophet's voice grew louder as he called out to the nation, personifying us as a woman who had been betrayed by her lovers, now ashamed and confounded. The pangs of our coming destruction, he warned, would be like the pain as of a woman in travail. It was a humbling, deeply personal message that cut through all my defenses. I was that woman. I was ashamed. I was confounded. And in that moment, I realized that my own life was headed for a burial with the dishonor of an ass. But as I fell to my knees in shame, another voice, quieter but more powerful, broke through the prophet's words. It was the voice of the Lord, not of judgment, but of grace. The message of judgment had been a mirror, showing me my wretchedness, my covetous heart, and my utter lack of righteousness. But it was in that very moment of self-revelation that faith began to stir. I realized that the only way to escape the burial of an ass was not to try and fix my own righteousness, but to receive the grace offered by the very God I had offended. I could not earn his favor through my own works, but I could, by faith, accept the message he was sending through his prophet. The message was simple: turn away from wickedness and turn to him. And as I knelt there, with all my pride broken, I felt a release, a sense of peace that surpassed all understanding. I received his message not as a threat, but as an offer of grace, and an offer of a new beginning. I still didn't know how it would all work out, but I knew that I had been given a chance to live again, not in a kingdom of my own making, but in a kingdom of his grace.